Traditional SOC analyst training has your analysts going to classrooms and learning the theory of what security analysts do, or going to a cybersecurity range to try to practice and experience what sort of response looks like. In order to make a training program that's effective in today's day and age, we would submit that it takes rapid training against the threats that they face with the actual equipment that they use every day. Every production environment is different, and training on the tools that they're expected to use day in and day out is essential to improving their performance, to identifying potentially things that are holding their analysts back, but also how does that equipment present threats? How does that equipment give alerts? And what do those alerts look like for different threats for those analysts to take and run with? We think it's essential to start practicing with that. So what are those essential ingredients? Three things. One, know what you need to protect. What is the business value that you're trying to protect for yourself or as a provider for your customers? What are they trying to protect? And defining that, making that clear for those analysts to know, hey, this is the real deal. This is really what we need to protect, and being able to be good at identifying threats that are coming and taking that risk to that business value. Second is to really start with the threats, right? To understand, here's the threats that are being used out in the wild, and that information is available from leading service or intel providers, and build your program for your equipment and for your solution that is based on the threat for them to practice against, right? To come in day one and be able to quickly get up to speed on how does our equipment work, what do these alerts look like, what threats are we concerned about, and then be able to do that for that business value that you're responding to. And then third is to do that on production, right? To really understand how does our production environment work or not, and what are the gaps that are holding our analysts back. But then really for our environment, we expect analysts to be able to do A, B, and C. Let's train them on A, B, and C and evaluate them on the current threats that are out there and then new emerging threats as they evolve, to really get our new analysts up to speed quickly and get them into the game, and then maintain their abilities as new threats emerge, right? So those are the three things we would focus on: is business value, threats, and then training on production. And if you do those three things, you're really going to have a cutting edge and effective training program. So one of the big things that we've seen is for SOC analysts, there's a tremendous amount of turnover. There's a lot that's expected out of them. It's pretty focused day after day, and they get frankly blamed for a lot of things that are outside of their control. So we think it's important and imperative to make training as engaging as possible, to make those analysts as successful as possible and set them up for not only current success, but also lead them to where they could go down the road in their future program. So we think that includes three ingredients. One is always look at the business value. Two is start with a threat and train against the threat. And then three is to be able to do that on production where you need them to perform, and don't burden them with all of the other things that are out there, but let's focus on those expectations. We need you to prevent bad things from happening to our business value with this equipment against these threats.